morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. One more time. Welcome to the live. First off, we're gonna start by thanking God for another day of life, another day of strength that's hanging down. We also want to thank God for the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and thank God for it all. And today is Wednesday. You're catching the replay later on down the line. Today is Wednesday. I think today is the 12th. Yeah, today is the 12th, Wednesday the 12th. So we got a little time. And as usual, I want to come live and share a little bit. You know, last night I got the opportunity to watch a couple episodes of the Chosen. The Chosen. If you haven't watched that TV show, it's a great TV show, great TV series. Check it out. It's called The Chosen, and a lot of it's biblically based. Most of it's biblically based from what I saw, and great storyline, well written, and so a couple things stood out. I mean, in the first season that I watched, first couple episodes that I watched rather. I'm on season 1. So if you're ahead of the seasons, I think it's like 5 seasons already. But if you're ahead, don't comment, don't ruin it for me. let me continue to catch up and watch and catch up to the episodes. But yeah, you know, a couple of key points that stood out to me, right? One was Mary Magdalene. You know, in the series, right? In the series, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm gonna give you a little synopsis of what I've seen. I'm encouraging you to watch it. I'm encouraging you to watch it. So I should have put that in the thumbnail, the title, The Chosen. But anyway, but yeah, you know, Nicodemus, Nostradamus, he couldn't. I'm getting the names mixed up, maybe, but you check it out and see anyway. But yeah, he couldn't. He tried to heal her, and she had demons and the spirits in her, and he tried to heal her, and he couldn't. He couldn't. And so when he saw her again, and found out that she was better, he wanted to find out how, because he couldn't do it. You know, he was supposed to be the man of the hour. You know, he couldn't do it. And so when he found out who it was, he knew that it was the Messiah. He knew that it was the Christ. And you know, the story of the boat, of the fishing, when he cast the net. This is a different part of the show, but cast the net and they got all the fish, right? But he said, with Matthew, he told Matthew to come follow him, and one of the disciples say, well, why you want him to come? Why you want him to come with us? You know everything that he's done. And he said, yeah. He said, but I want him to follow me anyway. He said, get used to it. He said, you bring him to me. You bring him to me. That's what Jesus said. You bring him to me, and let me sort them out. You don't worry about what they've been through. You share my message. You share my message. That's the point of topic for the day. That's the point of topic for the day. He said, let me go this way. He said, you share the message. You share my goodness. You share my grace. You share my mercy. And you leave the rest to me. You don't worry about what people have been through. or what people going through, or what people done, what they've been through, or who they are, how they treat people. You don't worry about all that. You just bring them to me. You bring them to me, and I sort out the rest. So, I thought about that, pondered on that, and I'm like, that ain't just, people think, like, ain't nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. And so, you can look at things and say, well, this is going on now, that's going on now, but nothing new under the sun. So, let's think about that. A lot of times we look at situations, look at people, and we tend to, not intentionally, but we tend to judge, prejudge, and when God says, it's not your business. That's not on you. That's not on you to judge or to prejudge. You share your message. You share my not your message. You share my message. You share God's message, and let God weed through the rest. Let God put the sauce on it, or leave it bland. you let God put the chicken bouillon and the epice and all the other seasons on there. or God can decide, you know what? You don't need no seasoning. I'm just gonna leave it bland, but you let God work that out. You don't work it out. You don't judge, you don't prejudge. You let God work it out. So for the most part, the show is good, and like I say, it makes you want to like research and study and look at the stories. I'm speaking for myself, not for anybody else, but for myself. Look at research the stories, look at the people, and look at the lives of the disciples. And they had John the Baptist. I've seen John the Baptist in there when he was in prison, when he was in jail, and he was beheaded, and he was talking about the Romans and stuff. But check out the show. Check out the show for yourself. The Chosen. Check it out for yourself. Like I said, I'm on series 1. I think I'm gonna watch the rest of them and come back and do like a little synopsis of the whole season. I'm gonna go season by season and do it like that. But it's really good. It's really good. And it just reminds you, even though you already know, it just reminds you the goodness of God, His grace, His mercy, and that no sin is worse than the other. God loves us all. No sin is worse than the other. So regardless of what someone's been through, it's not for me to judge, it's not for you to judge, it's not for us to judge. It's for God to share the message. Share the message and let God sort through the rest. So, so yeah. Anyway, happy Wednesday to you. Happy Hump Day. This week is flying by. I changed my license over today, the passenger endorsement. And another thing too that you said in the show too. You said no matter what your profession is, no matter what your job is, what you do for a living, wherever you're at in your life, you're so much bigger than that. You're so much bigger than that. There's another point to the show that they made. You're so much bigger than what you're doing right now. God has a purpose. You have a call. You have a time. You have a season to accomplish, to share whatever God got you to here to share. Whatever God got you here to do. You got a certain time to do it. Whether you do it or not, it's on you. It's your race. You got to run it. But you're so much bigger than your job. So much bigger than what you do for a living, for what people pay you for. And Matthew was rich in the show. I didn't read it. I didn't get this from the Bible now. Don't say the Bible says that. I didn't say that. I said the show. People tend to do that sometimes. But the show, The Chosen, Matthew was a wealthy man. He was a rich, one of the richest Jews. And so the guy said, "You're gonna leave everything." In the show, he said, "You're gonna leave everything and follow him." He said, "Yes, I'm gonna leave and follow him." So, point of me saying that is, regardless of what these people paying you on your job, how much they paying you? You 6 figures, 1 figure, 2 figures. I mean 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. It don't really matter. That don't even matter. Like I say, you're so much bigger than your job. So much bigger than your job. So much bigger than whatever. If you're not serving if you're not serving and living out your purpose, then it's all for naught. Because God sent you for a reason. What's up? Tithes, well, in my opinion, I'm gonna say this too, regardless of whether you go to church or not. Tithes, in my opinion, you can give it to someone. You can be a blessing to somebody in the streets, somebody that's homeless, somebody that needs a meal. You know, give your tithes like that. If you don't want to get to the church, then take some money out, take some money aside, and be a blessing to somebody else. Somebody that's in the street, sleep, homeless, don't know where their next meal is coming from. Take some time out and buy them something, buy them a meal, buy them some soap, buy them some deodorant, and I'll be a blessing like that. You don't have to get money to the church if you don't desire to. You know, do the desires of your heart. Do what your heart leads you to do. So, and I understand, I get that. Some of these, you know, I get it. I was one of them people, but like I say, we all gotta run our own race. We all gotta run our own race. And when you stand before God, He's not gonna ask you about what the church did, how the church behaved. He's gonna ask you, did you hear my message? And did you listen to it, or did you just deny what I'm saying? Or deny what you heard? So I understand that though. I understand it completely. Yeah, I know some of them do that. I know some of them want the W-2 forms. I know that. But like I say again, you know, I don't know how old you are, but can't anybody make you do nothing you don't want to do. It's all on you. You have to make that choice, make that decision to do what you want to do, and let God lead you. Pray about it, let God lead you. You know, I know some churches do that. And see how much you make so can determine, and that's awful though. And that stuff like that, and stuff like that gives people that are actually trying to serve God a bad name. But God sees it. God sees it. But you know, like I said about Matthew, he left all his possessions behind to follow Jesus. So, you know, if you ask, I wonder if you ask some of these ministers today, if you ask them to leave everything they got behind and still preach what they preach, I wonder would they do that. Some of them may say yes. Some of them may be like, if they didn't get a salary, say how would I live? That's what faith comes in at. But you know, we live in a society today where people need stuff. People have wants, have needs, but that's where gifts and talents come in at, you know. But so yeah, I don't know. I can't speak on that. All I can speak on is you know, try to do the best you can for you. And you know, like I said, if you don't desire to get to the church, then find somebody in the streets, homeless, or a nonprofit organization that helps the homeless, helps people in the streets, helps whomever, and give your tithes like that. So, but yeah. Anyway, The Chosen is a great show. So if you haven't seen the episode of, you haven't checked out The Chosen yet, I hadn't heard of it until recently, and I'm glad I checked it. I'm glad I watched it, because I fell asleep on it the first time I watched. You know, I've been getting up kind of early last couple of days, and so it's kind of tired, kind of sleepy. But I remember I had a dude I used to work with, right? And he was a little older than me. And every time we'd get out of work, right, he would be asleep in the car. I said, dang, bro, you can't wait till you get home to sleep. So when you get my age, you need a little nap every now and then. So so I said that to say my body was tired. And I'm watching TV, and the TV started watching me. So yeah. Oh no, I'm not getting off yet. I'm not getting off yet. You got another question to ask it. I'm here. You got another question to ask it. Like I said, I'm just basing nothing of what I'm saying is scripturally based. I'm just saying what I think and how I feel, so you can research for yourself. Talk to God for yourself though. You know, like I said, let God lead you, let your heart lead you, and you determine what you're gonna do and how you pay your tithes or whatever. But I can't tell you how to do that. You gotta do that. Discern that for yourself. But like I said, you know, would they? You should you can ask them. Go to the pastor, ask him, say, if I'm just kidding, don't do that. But no, it's a valid question though. If you wasn't getting a salary, if some of these ministers weren't getting a salary, would they still follow God? Would they still teach and preach if they weren't getting a salary? You know what I mean? And somebody say yes, somebody say no. I don't know, but that's up to you to decide. Hey, I think that any church, this is me now, this is me speaking now, any church that's a mega church and has members that are struggling should be ashamed of themselves. And I'm gonna say that again because I mean it. Any mega church that has members that are struggling financially and can't afford to pay their bills should be ashamed of themselves. And I have a pastor getting $1 million salary, stuff like that. You know, I understand, but use your talents and your gifts, but at the same time, look out for God's people. So that's just me. That's how I feel. That's how Gunstick feels. Hey, good morning, welcome to the live. That's how I feel. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's how I feel. You know, ain't no way. But you know, this is the world we live in. But like I said, I can only run my race though. I can only run my race. I can't run nobody else's race. I can't judge. I used to be like that. But I can't judge nobody. I have to run my own race. Run my own course, stay in my lane. You know, I used to run track, so you gotta stay. When you run the track, you gotta stay in your lane. You can't run in another person's lane. Otherwise, you get disqualified. So you gotta run in your own lane. Focus on your own course. So that's what we gotta do. And tell God thank you for everything. Even through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the hills, the valleys, the sun, the rain, everything. Thank God for it all. You know? And don't stop going to visit God's house because of tithes and offering. Like I said, if you don't want to pay your tithes and offering, don't look at that. Go find the message. Look at the message. And see if you get a message. See if you get some meat from what the pastor is saying. You know what I mean? See if you get some meat and it feeds your spirit. Don't worry about the tithe. Forget about that. Go and see if it feeds your spirit. If it don't feed the spirit, then move on. You know, and it's a lot of check out Hope Church of Christ online. Hope Church of Christ, check out their service online. Pastor's great, message is great. Check out that. It's right here on YouTube. Check them out. Check out the service. The service is 8 a.m. on Sunday. They have another service at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check them out. Check the service out. You know, they got online. No matter where you at, you can watch it online. So, you know what I mean? That's it. But thank God for it. But I said, The Chosen. My main topic today was The Chosen and being a net. Don't be a trap. Don't be a trap. Be a net for God. Be a net for God. And share God's message with God's people. And let him don't judge, don't prejudge and say, oh, Matthew can't come with us because he did this, he did that. That's happened in the show. Matthew shouldn't come with us because he did this, he did that. And Jesus say, let me decide. Let me decide. So don't prejudge anyone. Share the message with them and let God decide. Let God discern who can follow him and who can't. Let God decide that. That ain't for you to decide. It's not for you to decide. Cause if we lead on to our own understanding, we already lost. We already lost. People are already lost. I'm lost. I need God to lead me. So I said that to say, you know, we can't judge nobody. We all filthy rags in the eyes of the Lord. So you can't judge anybody. You can't look at somebody in the streets and think they might have more education than you have, and you don't even know it. If you judge them by the way they look, they might have more education than you got. You know, I remember a story about this guy in California. He was a stockbroker, and He was sleeping in the streets. Every day people would give him money, give him money, give him money. And one day he woke up and he said he was going to invest and got everything he had lost back. And they were surprised that this man sleeping in the street all this time and had this knowledge to invest in stocks. And did it, and became a millionaire. And they were surprised about it because you never know. You never know who's who. So just be careful. Be careful. So anyhow, happy Wednesday to you. Have a blessed Tuesday. Have a blessed Wednesday. I'm gonna say it Tuesday. Have a blessed Wednesday. You know, and know that if you woke up, forget about yesterday. Forget about yesterday. Can't do nothing about yesterday. It is a brand new day. If your feet touch the ground, leave out of negative energy, out of negative thoughts, negative vibes. Don't wake up angry. You know, you go to sleep angry, and you got up angry again. That's sad. If you woke up angry and you're still mad about something, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Wake up again. Tell God thank you, and say my day is gonna be great. And that's a decision you make already before your day even gets started. You decide how your day is gonna be, not nobody else. You decide. Situations come, situations go. People may try to rattle you and shake you up, but it's still a choice. But you make that decision to say, okay, well, it's gonna happen, that's gonna happen, but I already decided that, you know, I'm gonna have a great day. And that's what I decided. So if you wanna decide that with me, then it's great, but if not, that's fine too, but I decided to have a great day regardless. So with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. I'm not sure, I don't know. But I go live every morning, and I do testimonial Tuesdays every Tuesday evening. Sometimes I go live twice a day, sometimes I don't. But if you subscribe and turn that bell on, you get notified anytime I go live, and you can check me out. But yeah, but I go live daily though, every morning. So with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. Happy Wednesday to you. Like I always say, tell somebody you love them. You never know when you're gonna go. You never know when they're gonna go. Kiss the ones you love. You never know when you kiss them again. Also, a kind word kind of goes a long way. So say something kind, do something kind, and you'll be surprised how that kind word kind of change somebody's life. I'm testimony to that. Because a kind word that kind of changed my life. I thank God for those people every day. You know, you'd be surprised. Like people, we all going through something. So you'd be surprised. The littlest thing can make somebody's day, make somebody happy, change somebody's life around. The littlest thing. So do something kind to somebody, man. You know, like I said, we all go through something. Spare cheer, enjoy the people, not misery and hate. There's enough of that going around here, man. People just mean, but enough of us come together and say we're gonna be the light. We're gonna be God's light. We're gonna be God's light in a world of darkness. So with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Y'all be blessed.